We're going to be talking about Bonk's huge move that it just made last week and why it's significant. Okay, so we're so let's take a look into Bonk here real quick on the weekly time frame. Okay, on this weekly time frame, what you should be paying attention to is that Bonk has actually broken out of this falling wedge pattern here. Price target for Bonk here is going to be about, for this breakout here, is going to be about 0.000048 price targets. Price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less. It very much depends on the type of market that Bitcoin is in. And right now, Bitcoin is in consolidation. Okay, so that is something to be careful of, right? Until Bitcoin breaks out of that consolidation, I would be more cautious on altcoin setups, right? However, Bonk has actually broken out of this pattern here quite some time ago, back in April. Okay, and it has not done too much since it has actually hit that resistance at about 0.000026. Okay, actually went on a little bit of a downtrend before getting a pretty good pump last week. Now, that pump was significant, where it went from about 0.000014 about, because it has actually reclaimed this weekly 21 SMA, the blue line here, as support. That was a very solid candle break. Okay, so that's why it's significant, where it reclaimed a moving average, especially on a higher time frame. Right now, it is trying to get above the weekly 50 SMA, the gray line here, as you guys can see. Okay, is it possible that Bonk comes back here to retest the weekly 21 SMA? It's possible. It's within the cards. Okay. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame and zoom in and see if I can get any hints on what this price action could be doing. Now, after the pump, it has also broken on top of the daily 200 SMA, which has all types of significance, right? Which is the orange line here. Now, it hasn't formed any particular pattern here yet on this daily time frame, right? But I do see a possible cup and handle pattern that could develop, right? It is not established, but that is just my hypothetical, my projections as of right now, given the data that it's looking like, because we have a rounded bottom, what it looks like. We have a resistance at about 0.000026. Okay, at least it gives me a rough sketch on where resistance could be and where the price action could be if it breaks out of that resistance. Okay, so this is basically what it could look like, a cup and handle pattern, which is usually bullish. However, you also got to consider the downside as well, because these bullish patterns, even though they usually break to the upside, still possible that there is downside. And like I said, a lot of this is going to depend on Bitcoin. I am long on Bitcoin and quite a bit of altcoins here. But that is just my opinion and speculations, not financial advice. Should do your own due diligence. But if it actually comes back here to form this cup and handle pattern, and if enough of you guys want to see more of Bonk, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, letting me know you guys want to see more of this coin. If enough of you guys want to see it, I'll bring you guys an update. And that wraps it up for this video, and thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one.